Hello everyone, Person87 here, and welcome to Bloons TD Battles 2. Yes, Battles 2 was released. It was released, I believe, very late at night, which is not very good for American players, but oh well. I'm gonna skip the tutorial since the tutorial is quite boring, and I will be showing what I believe are the best matches that I personally have had. The first match I've had, the very first one I played after completing the tutorial, was against All of Night 4287, and the strat I used here was sub, tack, and sniper. Looking back, I realized I had no camo detection, but luckily that wasn't an issue for me. And as you'll see throughout the match, it was basically just Gwen, sub, and tack, as I did not use sniper throughout the match as I really had no use for him. I had no use for sniper because, well, the only upgrade I had unlocked was full metal jacket, and I don't really need full metal jacket to pop lead since I already have Gwendolyn who can give lead popping power to every tower in a radius. This first match I had was a very interesting match as, well, my opponent played in a very interesting way. The strat he used wasn't, I guess, anything like unique or revolutionary, but just the way he played it was just kinda strange. You can actually place Gwen on round 1 if you just wait a bit between, I guess, the loading phase of the game. You actually start with just enough money to actually start with Gwen, which is pretty nice. Now, I would just like to say, learning about early game strategies is really fun. At first, I thought I would hate it because just like, oh, I don't have access to any of the strong tier 3 or tier 4 upgrades. But actually, finding strats for early game is surprisingly fun. The strategy I ended up using for most of the video is Gwen, Dartling, Tack, and Bomb. It's a very unusual strat, but Tack and Bomb are pretty much meta right now since everyone's trying to grind XP in order to use all the towers they want while it's also progressing and getting to the higher arenas. I believe that every opponent I faced that you'll see in this video did have Tack in their loadout. Well, I did too, but it still is pretty funny to see that everyone's using Tack. Now, as y'all see, I did place down sub, but I realized that sub was kind of useless here because I only had longer range upgraded and not twin guns. I had absolutely no idea how in the world I was gonna make sub work, but I chose him and he's already here, and I think he's a better option than sniper, so that's a whatever, I guess. Also, I'd just like to say that is a very nice sub attacking animation in Ninja Kiwi. Very great. But anyways, as I was saying before, if you are struggling with early game, Tack is definitely the way to go. Tack paired with Gwendolyn is absolutely insane. And as you'll see later in the video, someone used it with Alchemist even though he didn't really have buffing Alch, and that was actually pretty smart. They didn't need Bomb because, well, they had Alchemist for AMD, so the only thing they needed was camo detection, which Quincy already has. Anyways, talking about the match at hand, you'll see that my opponent isn't sending any eco, but instead just spamming tacks. When I first played it, I was just wondering, okay, why? I thought he was just a noob and a new player just, I guess, just doing whatever, but then looking back, I probably realized that, oh, he's probably trying to grind XP to get tack. You know, this is the not so fun part about battles, is having to grind the tower XP. You know, you can't really use all the fun tier 4 and tier 5s, but it is surprisingly fun, you know, trying to defend with using tier 2 towers. You know, it really forces you to get creative with how you're going to defend rushes because, well, since Tack and Bomb are kind of the meta right now, you know, most of your matches that I've had, you know, ended up going to at least where rainbows, ceramics, and sometimes Moabs come out. And so, you know, it really is creative and shows off your micro skills because in order to defend Moabs with only Tack and Bomb, you're going to have to spam 202 tacks all over the map. But like I said, my opponent isn't sending any ecos and is just instead spamming 202 tacks. It's definitely a strategy to say the least. I was just sending a bunch of different balloon types out just to see, you know, what will get through his defense, but he has so many tacks that, like, really the only thing that was gonna work is leads, but leads unfortunately aren't unlocked yet. Although I'm not sure if just spamming tacks will get you more experience for tack because, well, in BTD6, you know, there really was just a set amount of experience you earned per round that was equally divided up among your towers, so of course the best way to I guess, get XP, would just to use and just have Tack on the screen. But of course, Tack can't pop leads, so you'll need a mid for that. I mean, I guess if you got Inferno Ring, but I don't think Inferno Ring can pop purples. Correct me if I'm wrong. I never used that tower. Now, as you can see, my opponent's actually starting to send a few Bloons at me. It actually made me leak 2 lives. Of course, that didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it did force me to get another sub. Now on my opponent's side, as you can see, I'm just sending leads non-stop, and for whatever reason he's not getting a bomb shooter to defend the lead. While he does have 2 in the front, those 2 are simply just not enough to beat all the leads coming out. And so I saw that leads weren't stopped working, so I decided to send some rainbows instead. And surprisingly enough, the 202 Tack spam was holding off the rainbows surprisingly well. Leads are still coming in, but I was still sending rainbows as he was just so close to dying. Fortunately, a lead got through, but at the time I didn't really see the lead, so I was going to boost some ceramics at him, but I ended up hitting monkey boost instead. This is something I keep doing constantly. I keep accidentally using monkey boost even though I want to use balloon boost. This next match shows that you don't really need tier 3, tier 4, even tier 5 towers to, beat your opponent with Moabs. This is probably one of my favorite games that I've played so far against Mr. Flippy, as it really just shows a few strategies that I figured out over just watching players play and whatnot. The round 13 grouped purple rush is incredibly strong, and so are rainbow rushes, although they may not be regen rainbows. I decided to spice it up and get sniper instead of bomb, as I came to the conclusion that sniper would probably be better mid and late game, seeing as sniper has elite sniper and cripple Moab. Elite sniper can really be used for sniper farming as well as spamming supply drops, which pretty much guarantees you're safe against CDTs, assuming you get top path. Well, of course, this is assuming that, Ninja Kiwi did decide to get rid of middle paths, natural lead popping, but I doubt that. Now, believe it or not, this is the first match I've seen where someone actually goes and uses boat, and, I'm kind of curious to see how well boat does, as well. I have seen Alien Rocks and IceUp video, and from what I can see, Cannon Ship is pretty strong early game. This surprised me because, well, in BTD6, Cannon Ship's kinda outclassed by Destroyer. Now, my opponent got a Grape Shot, which means I can't really go for any yellow rushes. Not that I was gonna try that anyways, because I do want to see some more, I guess, not late game action, but mid game rushes, which is what I got sort of out of this match. I noticed I was leaking some yellows, so I decided to remove the obstacle to get a second tack down. I am going for middle path this time, because in the few matches I've played before this one, I was able to get enough XP to get a blade shooter, and that is not the only upgrade I was able to unlock. Although it's the only tier 3 upgrade I have unlocked so far, I would like to use some other towers, but I'm really not sure what would be a good replacement for Tack, as it seems that really Tack and boat and bomb are pretty much dominating early game right now, because, well, they're pretty cheap and have pretty good pierce. Although it would probably be better to, level up your towers sooner rather than later, because if you wait too long, you may be shoehorned into using, well, I guess, your early game strat, because other players may have, I guess, better towers. Problem is, early game, you're gonna have a really difficult time winning, as Tack really is easily able to defend pretty much all rushes, assuming that you know what you're doing and you spam enough tacks. Sniper is mainly here just because I want to test out how good shrapnel is in this game, to see if it's still just as good as it is in in BTD6. Now the main strat I want to try out is, a lot of meta strats from Battles 1 like Dart Farm Ace, Dartling Ice Village, and some other ones I can't really remember. Also, I do want to try out the Engineer and see just how good Balloon Trap is. Anyway, Mr. Flippy coming in with the yellows, that he can't really afford all of them, as that's why you'll see random gaps between all the yellows he's sending, because he's running out of money sending them. It seems that he's just kind of sending the highest balloon type possible, besides, I guess, purples. I'm not really sure what the most efficient eco method is, but for now I just keep spamming greens, as I can constantly keep that up. I get another tack here as it is getting close to round 13, and round 13 is kind of the death rounds for a lot of games. That is something that you should oh, actually I don't get a tack, I changed my mind. But anyways, round 13 is a killer round, you know, those grouped purples, even if all your towers can pop purples, still can be pretty deadly. It really is the new round 13 regen Rainbow Rush of Battles 2. So when you are playing this game, you know, be careful for round 13 and round 26. Why round 26? Because round 26 is where DDTs come. And you want to prepare your defense before round 26, as there really is no reacting if your opponent decides to send boosted DDTs. Thankfully, there's no way we'd be able to get that far, as, yeah, towers just ain't good enough. So here I come in, I guess it's round 12 actually, with the round 12 grouped purple rush, and he's able to defend it using Quincy abilities and a balloon boost. It is kind of disappointing, as I really was hoping I can kill him there. I leaked to a camo balloon because I simply just wasn't paying attention. I was more focused on my failed purple rush. But as you see, he had to get 3 double shot boats in order to defend that rush, and even then it was just barely. You had to use Quincy's ability and a boost in order to defend it. So it really is easy to see how, you know, deadly this rush would be if you're not prepared. It really is a round, again, like I said before, you are gonna have to prepare for. Round 15 rolled along, which means it's ceramic times. I didn't send any ceramics yet. Instead, I got my, what is this, an 012 Dartling, I'm thinking. Oh yeah, Dartling is also the other tower I was able to unlock upgrades for, as, you know, okay, I forgot what bottom path tier 2 is called. But anyways, you know, Mr. Flippy going in with a Rainbow Rush, and I'm struggling to get my 002 Dartling down, but with Gwendolyn's abilities and boosted piercing shot Dartlings, powerful Dartlings, I was able to defend it and didn't really lose a lot of lives, surprisingly. Microwing Dartling in Battles 2 is incredibly annoying, as they don't follow your mouse like they do traditionally. Instead, they point their gun to where you clicked last. And combine this with the fact that Battles 2 can be slow because your opponent maybe has bad internet, can be a bit frustrating. So I think Dartling may not be as good as it was before. Now I could be wrong, as Bez, of course, is still a tower that exists. Anyways, Mr. Flippy over here is leaking some lives to my ceramics that I've sent, so I keep pressuring him and to, I guess, force him to boost or buy some more towers, which he does end up buying another boat to defend my ceramics. Also, one tower I haven't mentioned yet is his Wall of Fire, and Wall of Fire, just like it is in BT6, is pretty strong. Of course, this is, I guess, not surprising to anyone, since Wall of Fire was kind of king in races, but Wall of Fire is really holding its own here until, I think, probably pulling its weight. Now, as you can see here, I have 3 Moabs lined up in queue. You know, I was really trying to kill him with these Moabs, because I had a feeling that he would probably send Moabs of his own, and if he did, I really didn't have any defense for that, besides, I guess, 201 snipers, but even then I died to the ceramic insides. And here he's holding out the Moab surprisingly well, but I just keep on sending him, and he has to boost in order to defend them. Even though he did boost to defend to beat the Moabs, he's not going to be able to beat the ceramic insides, and he ends up dying to the Moab insides. That was a pretty good match, if I do say so myself. One of my favorites my favorite match I've had, definitely the most intense, and was probably the longest match I've had, and the only match I was able to send Moab class balloons. Fortunately, no one has sent me any Moab class balloons of my own. If they did, I really was not sure how I was going to be able to defend those, aside from maybe spamming 022 Dartlings and just spamming 230 Tacks, but my micro skills suck right now, as I haven't had any experience microing. Anyways, this is where I'm going to end the video. Thanks for watching. I will be uploading this a lot more, because I'm having a lot amount of fun. Don't worry, I won't keep recording early game footage, as I realize, you know, some people do want to watch late game more than early game.